Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. Talk am as e be with Apostle Alfred Uyinosa. Apostle Alfred Uyinosa say time don reach for Edo people to unite. Make I leave you now with Apostle Alfred Uyinosa. Make you for hear the message wey bring come today. Enjoy the video.
My etemen ya etemen ko waya bota obo we obava keke nuri ajebe otana. Enime Apostle Alfred Uyinosa. O ha me no teme no seve do etusa no go doa eti maropa etusa no go doa For the sake of those that is not understanding Benin, una good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Depending on the location, if for the journey, connect with us this evening. This evening we'll be talking. I will talk to my Edo people all over, whether Ishan, whether Isako, whether Auchi. I will talk to Edos today. Well, before I continue, my brother in there with me this evening for our studio.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Depending on where you take the connect with us again. Thank God. Say God give us another grace and we'll visit today. Do we also want to join us for today's edition? My name is Sirimin Victor.
Yes, talk am as it be in the broadcast of truth. When it be say we they really talk am as it be. And a lot of persons not really understand the content or the power behind this broadcast. Talk am as it be, we they talk am as it be, irrespective of who they involve. And anything we they speak against, we they talk am as it be. It be like truth. Talking about it being a truth. Truth be that bitter leaf. The German will say it the way it is. The Bini will say, Gia Taiwan or Jie. Gia Taiwan or Jie. Talk as it be. So this evening, we will focus on Edo. And a lot of people they ask whether I be Igbo man. Some say I be Hausa. Some say I be Yoruba. Some say I be mixed breed. All and all, because now God creates everybody. So this evening, we want to look into Edo. Time don't reach for Edo to unite against satanic invasion. Edo, God blessed Edo state with various mineral resources when the BC other states not even get. But how come we still dey poor, we still dey backward? All these things we're going to put match this evening. And una go still tell us the area when you want to make we improve on for Edo. And if you look at, some people say Edo State is the oldest in the whole world. Say they even senior British. Some people say that they get them from Congo, go to South Africa. The question when they ask, if now Edo get the whole world, how come the state is still undeveloped? Some say that because the British invade the area. So since they invade that now, they not fit grow. Now this matter now will they put matter this evening. With all the claim, who don't claim, the oldest empire, whether the new empire, how come the state is still backward? And the reason why we need to unite to raise up the banner of greatness with God don't put for Edo hand. And if you check the antecedent of Edo all worldwide, they are people blessed with sound wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And there is no state in the world where there is no crime, where the people they misbehave. But time don't come for Edo to unite against the satanic invasion. I see invasion coming in form of terrorists. How far we don't really prepare for the battle ahead. Now this one, I will make me ask my brother some question this evening because he don't grow for Benin. And very soon, he go marry for Benin. We go give him a wife for Benin. He not get choice. Or the money should not be Benin man. We'll make sure say marry for Benin because Benin good for a body. My brother, how you see this matter?
All right. Welcome to today's edition of Talk Am As It Be. We say we'll look inward today. Why? Because say person no fit carry paint outside of the house when inside paint inside.
That was strong.
Person no fit carry the wash back of pot when the inside of pot
Dirty.
dirty. And at the same time, person no be open im eye and make him know say yes, we be citizen of one country wey dem dey call Nigeria, but at the same time we get our roots. And the reason why we say we must look inward today na because of say after several analysis we don realize the fact say development starts from the grassroots, and the grassroots na we wey dey for our respective states taken down to our local government communities and dem families, and before we come talk about our country. But e dey disheartening a little bit say the way the founding fathers take deceive our great grandparents to form the colony of Nigeria, e dey very very appalling, to be honest. This na why we say, since we don already fit identify say this Nigeria when they colonize together, say make all of una come together to be Nigeria, na lie. E get another aim. So today we wan look inward. Edo State, the state wey dem dey call Edo State, that state don ripe enough to stand. What is the population density of the state? Also, the state don fit generate revenue once for a lifetime. Also, wetin be the landmarks of the state? After una identify all these things, we no get option than to come back to the drawing table to tell ourselves the truth that the Edo people must understand that we are rich in certain things. Number one, that we are rich in land. And I choose to start from land. Why? Because of say, no community, no nation succeed without food. And because we are rich in land, how many of our products as food dey stand by for markets? Number one. Number two, how secured in terms of food security our people for Edo State go beat their chest to talk say we dey independently rely on the food when we dey produce for our land. We cannot compare the land when we get for Edo State and the land, I mean the soil, when we get for other parts of the country. How so? Why be say we come dey rely from states when their land na deserts? That means the Edo people have abandoned one of their resources, land. And if you check the land mass of Edo, you go know say Edo big. As a matter of fact, go and do your check very well. If you dey travel to Abuja, you spend more time in Edo State. If you check the time it will take you from Edo to Abuja, you spend more time in Edo State as calculated to the time when you go spend to take reach Abuja. Why? That na to make claim say Edo big. And they don't get landmarks when they also dey surrounded by water. How we don't take use them? Number one. Number two, And Edo is rich in arts and culture. This is why you see say those people when settle down use mirror and bangles take deceive our old and our
Fathers.
grandparents. They realize the benefits of the arts. And they ensure say they use mirror and bangles
To deceive them.
and penny. They deceive our grandparents. Which we no go blame them. Why? Because that was what was in vogue as at then. Now come to our generation. You get what that they use to deceive us now. Yes. What is it? Technology. Let's not go deeper. More remain on our focus. Art and culture. Now, I want to ask, for the past 10 years where I don't dare those states, I never see for the Edo IGR the amount when art and culture don't generate.
Oh God.
Don't generate to the betterment of Edo states. Number one.
We get gas, oh.
Number two, inside the art and culture, how far have we grown? Our fathers, when understand this art and culture, how have they been able to model and breed a new generation when we go add innovation inside the art and culture? And make we not forget, say inside the art and culture, we always drive tourism. Why? Because people just want to come and see. And because people want to come and see, there is room to also generate funds in tourism. Now, another question be say, what will be the level of our tourist center for Edo State? I drop here.
Oh boy. You just open some things we say we really need to hammer on. You talk about art and culture. The revenue when it did art and culture, if properly harnessed, my brother, that money the officials they pay worker salary. What did I talk? If properly was harnessed, that money go reach to they pay workers salary.
Just to make a claim, people pay so much to go sit down to watch comedians to crack joke for 1 hour. Okay. People pay so much. People pay as more as 250,000 naira. They want to sit down for a table of 5 for 1 hour. You know what that one means? That one means say people need a recreation center
where they can be entertained, where they can find fun, where they can find relationship. Now, all this area, we don't neglect them for Edo. Now, outside arts and culture, you also discover, say, we are so blessed when it comes to sports. We are so blessed when they come. They will also get gas. We get gas. For Oriomo, they get gas. How well we don't feel use that money they come out from those areas to develop the state. Now, Orogo, now one big community for Oriomo. They get gas, they get oil where? Our people, they exploit oil for there. How come? Because the last time when I check, Orogo is not developed. It not developed. And they get oil for that area. Now, the truth be say, our fathers, they are evil. When I say evil, they are greedy. And this is the area the state government and other relevant authority need to wake up to see how they begin to revive all these mineral resources. Now, when they talk about oil now, my brother, only oil where they oil. If we use that money the way they supposed to use them, my brother, for those states, we not supposed to get where the road not tie. More don't tell ourselves the truth. Every part of the state you go enter, see the contract of the work, they tie the road. Now, what happen over time? Some certain people they sit down, they chop that money. Now, cocoa now another area when it be say when would they grow up a village? My mother is from a camouflage. Oriama. There. Now, a camouflage, sir, there are major occupation there, now farming. And inside that farming, they can get cocoa. If we talk about cocoa, now them get cocoa and rubber. But today, cocoa now become the thing of the past. When they go village that year, we at the street lorry 911, they come in camouflage, they go come with Sasiomba, they go come with the Guetue. What did they come do? They come carry cocoa, go Ore. From Ore, they go carry and go Lagos. Then we'll talk about corn season. Now 911, they come the village, they carry corn. But how come this area we don't neglect them? And that's why we need to look inward. The question is, if anything happened today, waiting we will feel fall back on. This one a question what we really need to ask ourselves. And a lot of our persons, they don't only village, they don't only farm. Everybody this city, everybody want to become, you want to enjoy city life. Now, inward, the reason why we must unite, I also understand, say we get a lot of our brothers and sisters, we get powerful potential. We really want to come invest for the state. They don't feel come, genuinely, because of bad precedent or bad policy. Bad policy from the government, bad policy from the family, the bad policy from the traditional area. Now, why they put money for this area? Now, some persons go come and set up company. Either they will use which, make sure that they bring the business down, it no go grow. Now, all this area, but I believe, say, which no go fit stop government. It no get which one get power reach. They no go fit stop government. Now, here, I really want make everybody, all the Benin when they watch this broadcast now, time don't reach for us to unite. Time don't reach for us to go back to our farming, because that is what we have been known for. It get those periods where they fall like this, my brother, for village, Oguzama. It was during corn season. We go farm. We go pick snail. We go pick what they call akiko, inyon. We go pick. My brother, basket go full. We kind of come house, come town, come sell. Now we they live on. Now they now know how to use cocoyam. Yeah. Cocoyam paddy yam. You don't have chop before. Cocoyam paddy yam is the best paddy yam so far. That small you go chop, your belly will cover. Now there, now for village, now for learn how to use cocoa. You see that cocoa, that fresh one, where they come out, now ogbolo. Now we cook ogbolo soup, okra soup. It be like okra. That cocoa, that small with that with the cut. But that we cut them with the fresh leaf. Now we cook okra soup. By the time you eat them, your skin it go dey shine. But today, what do you chop? Fry. Eatery everywhere. So my people, yes, abroad good. Abroad is very good. But time don't reach for us to really look inward. If we actually claim say now we get here to abroad, how come where we dey in not great develop? You remember what we go man? You see land. The question I'm going to ask myself, no be land be this. Untouched. So which means the government or individual can really take up those areas. In fact, the major work in government, the major work for this thing is government can open up that area for tomatoes farm, because our land is very fertile. Now just small manure now we need, small irrigation now we need. Now pineapple juice factory where the former governor Lucky Gbene don build. I pass there, I shake my head. Why Lucky Gbene don build that place? So that the pineapple wey dey come from Eho, they no go dey carry and go north. Now just to carry the pineapple come the factory, they go produce juice. Now previous administration come, they no look into that area. My brother Victor, how you see this area? Because me, I get interest for this pineapple juice factory where Lucky Gbene don be built. Now, you know why? Lucky Gbene don get foresight to industrialize the state before. And that is what he was doing. So my people, una wey dey follow this broadcast, una know say wetin we dey talk to na truth. And most of una wey dey watch us now, una don benefit from all these things. So how we go fit join hands together now to revive our industry, our farmland, and other things for the state? My brother Victor, that land we will see for a hall, those pineapple juice, what do we do? Make I hear am.
On that aspect, everything boils down to the government. And the government, whether we take it or leave it, government get priority. Government get priority. And the way we take the wrong government for this part of the world, the government know they understand the difference between want and need of the people. The government they try, but there's a difference between want
and need.
So now, for example, as I did so, I won't use myself as a clear example. As a young man growing, if you give me 5 million naira now, and you can't tell me, say, oh yeah, this 5 million naira, you will consider two things. Either house or to buy a car. It is true that I want a car. You understand?
Yes.
But to be honest, I need house past that car.
Very correct.
So you get the point?
Yes.
So I would rather invest that money to a building than to go buy a car. You know, let me say car no good though. Now because I don't feel analyze my priority list. Because now myself. And so in this part of the world, the government is not with the people. The government is not in the people. So governments go come
with their own policy,
with their own program when they want to do. They go do them, they go work, and they will say they work. As against the actual thing when we say the people actually need. So, in the aspect of reviving the industry, that's the pineapple juice industry, if we look around that locality, now what's in they produce be that? And it will be wise for any government to revive that place. But it get where I won't go tie the conversation come from. Now, that anybody listening to us right now, or when go watch us later, and you know say you get small connection. You know say you get small connection. When I mean connection, there is one person that you know you can influence in one way or the other. Please, now is the time to be truthful to ourselves. Nigeria is a failed state. And although people must come together to rewrite what politics would be in the nearest future. The Edo people must understand that politics must be an institution. And therefore, politics to be an institution, that means there must be a template for anybody that is elected in to serve in this state. And as such, we know say, some people go say, he win under party A, he win under party B.
Another problem.
Party A get their national policy, party B get their national policy. That is true. But nothing stops the Edo people from instituting our own party. At the top, instituting our own party. When we say that party, anybody will come under that party, Obaseki can testify. If Obaseki had come under that party, Obaseki would have won. Now know why? Because now the people want Obaseki. And invariably, Obaseki will have no choice than to begin to dance to the rules
Of the people.
and regulation that binds the Edo party. And then the Edo people must forget about anything called their national party, APC national, PDP national, ACM. No! I'm saying this, and I'm saying that if the Edo people, and this is applicable as well to my state, Delta State, if the Edo people must grow this state, Edo must remove herself from the shackles of the federal might. Why? Because you go come dey see say they'll come tell you say the party when bringing the governor it gets some people for national when they influence
Decision.
No. It cannot happen in the Edo party.
Wait. Now what you talk so? No. Now what you talk so? Which mean Edo party will control waiting they come out from the state. Now what? No. Now what you talk so? So which mean to get Edo party, it actually they easy. Now make the Edo people come together. They will not decide on waiting we actually want. And how we fit against our need. Because there's actually difference between need and want. Now, just as my brother have talked now, Edo party can serve as a template to other states to ride on. Now, when we talk about Edo no be Lagos, we show to the world say Edo no be Lagos. Of a truth, Edo na the heartbeat of the nation. Now, make I bring your mind back. Now, I talk about that pineapple juice factory. Now, nothing stop government from giving that place to private individual. When they get interest to invest in that angle, you go say now, the land is there, some of the property are there. Now, you want to produce juice for this state. We will give you enabling environment. Take this factory, sign MOU. This will be the return to the government, and this will be your return. And the government will set up a supervisory body where they will supervise what they go on for that area. So, with me, automatically, government remove their hand. They give that place to private individual. And I know say we get a lot of rich Benin, rich Edo people, where they will actually run that pineapple juice farm. And that juice farm, it go fit take care of Edo. And not only Edo, they will fit prepare for export. After all, farm pride. Now the juice where they produce for Kaduna. And now the pineapple where they carry from Edo. Now they carry go Kaduna. Now they'll come process and turn out to juice. They'll bring them back to us here to buy, which is farm pride. Another today, farm taste. These are the two Jews where I don't observe when it comes from Kaduna. Now, if the state government actually want to develop the state, industrialize the state, may they look into a pineapple juice factory, hand over them, give private individual, make the runner. You go say it go grow. That's one. And that private individual go finna know how to work with the farmers of those areas. Before you know, a lot of people want to go back into farming. Because there is already market to buy. The stress of the people transporting their pineapple to the north, it could die natural death. Why? Because the company already set up the machinery to buy those pineapple for their hand. How? They go to the farm, they look, when they have 20 acres, so they look at the price, and then the company now be the one to harvest it. The farmer owner to plant, to nurture them. Then the company owner to come, begin to harvest the pineapple. They can go to their factory to produce juice. Now, automatically, people for a hall, you don't give them work. People go to farm. There's some of our graduates when they read petrochemical engineering and the rest, computer engineering, because it will involve computer. Driver, you go play professional driver, when you go to drive those things. Now, that area that don't create employment. I don't know if you understand, my brother Victor. That's for a hall, pineapple juice battery. Now, you remember I said we get bedded brewery. This bedded brewery, we now want to talk about who close them down, who not close them down. You know, say bedded brewery go fit generate a lot of fund for the state. And this one a big thing we need to look into. My brother, you see that bedded brewery. So what do we do? What is the way forward?
Apostle, all these things when you dey try point out, I will say this emphatically, say the government they are aware. The government they are aware. And to be honest, the government, with all sense of sincerity, would prefer to establish a new one
Than to revitalize the old one.
and to wake up the Why? Because critical stakeholders in Edo State don't shy away from grooming themselves and positioning what Edo should look like. As a matter of fact now, you realize, say, I want to challenge all of us now again. You realize, say, the governor just bring out a rough template on the 30 years agenda, right? I'll tell you this. Say, the numbers of Edo citizens when don't take time to look that they never reach 100.
That's if you put it 50.
I want to come again. That 30 years plan, when the governor they propose so, I will talk am. Say, since when you don't announce am till date, Edo population is over 4.2/4.5 million people, if I'm not mistaken. Out of this 4.5, 100 people, 100 never, even inside the government,
They never go read them.
inside. So, if eventually that plan can't go through House of Assembly, they can't pass am. As they pass am, it can't be Edo template. Automatically, how do we now incorporate wetin we dey think about wetin don dey happen before now? When probably if dey omitted for the plan, this na where we don dey miss am. So this na why I dey reason from another angle that the Edo must begin to see herself independent. Independent.
Outside
Federal level. Independent. And as such, for this to be achieved, trust, the elders must take the front stage. and then backed up by the creativity of young people. Backed up by the creativity of young people. Now, imagine, say for the 18 local governments, you have close to about 20 selected elders by this local government. Sit down. All of them sit down. Old conference, like confab conference.
So say what you really want.
And then they are asking themselves critical questions. And they are putting away individual greed.
Which is the key that will be hindering development.
They put away selfishness. Those people who are truthful to themselves. Why? I'm gonna not forget, say, the essence of this broadcast, Talk Amasibi, is to identify things that are not working, provide solution, not just to complain. No. And as such, the Edo people must
Wake up
come to a point,
and be united.
come to a point to tell themselves the truth that, see, we have missed it. And now, if now only Gary we see drink in the morning, we are contented with it. And as such, we want to build a future for
Our
children and children yet unborn. Unless that is achieved, sir, to be honest, we'll just the patch road they go.
And on the road, they do the patch for a very long time. I want to read the history of Edo. It was formed in June 1963 from Benin and Delta province of Western region. And its capital was Benin City. It was renamed a province in 1966. And in 1967, when the other provinces were split up into several states, it renamed
Territorially intact.
becoming a state. Now, territorially intact, which means Edo stand on its own. I don't know if you get that so. Edo stand on its own. That is to say, Edo have everything to survive. If I'm not mistaken. In terms of self-sustainability, Edo have everything. Edo have everything. We're talking about self-sufficient sustainability. We have everything. We have everything. But waiting can happen. All still bordered on greed. 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 A time don't reach for our elders, our fathers to kill greed. But funny enough, our so-called fathers, they are into land selling. They keep selling land. They're not thinking on how they can develop the land. Go different communities. You go see elders. Sit down. Some will collapse. Some will hot drink. Some will koboko. They look for the nearest client where misbehave, where they go flog. They don't sit down to think how we go feel join hand to develop our community. Sorry, this is my pain. This is my pain. Each time I drive through different community, I see how our elders go sit down. They wait for one buy land. Without thinking, how do we develop the land? And the youth, they follow the footsteps of the fathers. And the youth, they follow the footsteps of our fathers. What do we really want as a people? We don't even know. Each time I drive through different communities, I see how our fathers, our so-called fathers, they're supposed to be peacemaker. They're supposed to be generational bond in building a viable capacity, building industry and the rest. No. Each time I see them, they go sit down. They look for land where they want to sell. Each morning. without thinking how they can develop the area. Bros, if anything happens in the state, we have nowhere to run to. We are shouting, government, government. Now we be the government. Each of the locality, they don't almost sell land finish, but here they don't create land where they go fit build industry. Where they go fit say this is a community. Oh God. EDG, the big rich to take over that pineapple farm industry. That pineapple juice, the big rich. With all the money they'll be selling in land, is enough for them to take over that environment. I will use this opportunity to beg the state government, make it revive Edo line. Make it revive Bedenbury. And other institutions will not collapse. Make the government of the day see how you go fit a revival. But I know said they did their plan, but time don't reach for them to open the file. I don't know if you understand. Make them open the file.
I also think one of the biggest challenge for the government now the reality of the involvement of generation and also how things don't go over time. It could it just be like the way the government they put technology for head. I say you want train youth on technology, on technology. Why? Because of say technology currently they in vogue. You understand? Sir?
Yeah.
Currently they in vogue. But one of the reasons also why I feel say we they dig deep now into all these infrastructures and when don't they dilapidated for a while, now because of say we don't they ask questions. I don't know if anybody don't take time drive through water boards. If you drive through water boards and you see the facilities when they ground for water boards, you go to ask yourself, say, they just build this thing. The solidity of their buildings still remains intact. Now, wetin fit change all these things when we dey analyze go be government when go enter, and before he enter, he don't take time take analyze Edo State. That's the truth. Take time take analyze Edo State. Number 2, government when get the consciousness to bring governance to the people. Not that word. Government when get the consciousness to bring governance to the people. How can that be achieved? In such a way, say, for almost every move that I make, I ask questions. Yesterday or how many days ago, the President of America, Joe Biden, completes 100 days in office. And they read out
The achievement.
And then he came out to speak. And when I see all the tweets, I shake my head. And what came to my mind is say, when are we going to be privileged
To have,
to have servant leadership?
not Oga.
Servant leadership. Most of the people when we elect to government, they feel say
Their Lord.
the load too much on them. No. Take it off. If you cannot, leave it. If you cannot, leave it. All these things. Now waiting they miss from our political institution. All this as little as it means to talk to someone. As little as it sounds, to have value for people. All these little things put together, now in the means for our political institution and for us to decentralize them, to cut them off. Edo State must institute our own political framework. This political framework, Naim will come be the template for anybody, governor, senator, House of Rep, House of Assembly, chairman, councillor to run with. And as such, we already cut off their Abuja
manipulation.
So, anybody will come under that political framework for Edo knows, say, if you have found one thing, it is in the political what?
By hanging.
If you have found one
They
thing,
will hang you.
say you go spend money when they suppose they do so thing for so thing. See, they kill the person.
Straight.
It's not. It's no. Straight up. Straight up. No. Say inside the political framework, this and this. No, be see they come they say one. Some people they manipulate am. Some people when no be a do, when be nothing. But because of say they belong to the party, they go to influence the governor, and as such, they distort the progress of development.
Thank you very much. And I just go through some history, and I see say it would be good make we just bring us some salient points from the correct history of Edo. And a lot of persons don't really know the correct history of Edo. Now with this brief history, we'll just take brief. We'll continue from here tomorrow because we really need to sit down. We need to look inward. How we go fit unite to become one great nation. You understand? So, how we go fit unite to become one great nation, and how we fit harness all our hidden potential, because we are blessed in all mineral resources. So, Victor, you go read this 1 or 2, 3 paragraph. You stop for this place. You understand? So, the correct history of Edo, so that I want make I just settle down listening, because time going for us to this school, we need to really teach ourselves.
Okay. Sorry, please. All right. The correct history of Edo by Naiwo Osaon. This man, pursuing, don't settle down, educate himself, and also he don't carry several academic degree for recognized institutions for United States of America, the CES honorary councilmanship for Memphis City Council. And so this man, he said it is very necessary to also come up with another dimension of how Edo State should be positioned. Historical accounts are vague as to when, if the Benin migrated from the Nile Valley. What is not in doubt is that the earliest rulers of Benin were called Ogisos. 31 Ogisos in all ruled the kingdom of Benin between 900 to 1200 AD, which is the earliest period so far accounted for in Benin history. The Benin monarchy demonstrates strong affinity with ancient Egyptian gods and pharaohs, with which it shares identical authority, grandeur, and a great deal of reverence from their subjects. In fact, The hairstyle of Benin chiefs is similar to Pharaoh Ramses II famous helmet. Wow. While the small circles of the helmet appear also on many Benin bronzes. Benin Queens wears identical hairstyles to that of Pharaoh Mycerinus and Pharaoh Sesostris I. The kings of Benin also adopt Grand Osirian titles of the open eye, signifying omniscience and omnipotence. The Benin cosmological account of the universe draws significantly from the Egyptian one. The Egyptian version, which later formed the basis of Genesis and the Bible, is that the universe was created from chaos and primeval ocean. After a hill arose from the bottom of the ocean, a sun god called Atom. A sun god called Atom appeared on the land created by the hill. The sun god or Atom then created 8 other gods, which together with himself made 9 gods. These 9 gods are presumed by modern science to be symbolized by the 9 major planets of the universe. The Benin version is that in the beginning there was no land, only water everywhere. In the middle of the water stood a tree, on top of which lived Owonwon, the Tolkien. Osanobua, that's the creator. Osanobua, the creator, decided to populate the world. So the creator sent 3 sons, each with a choice of peculiar gifts. One of the 3 sons chose to have wealth, and the next chose magical skills. As the youngest was about to make his choice known, Owonwon cried out to him to settle for a snail shell. This he did. When the canoe and 3 children were traveling and reached the middle of the water, the youngest son turned the snail shell upside down to release endless stream of sand, resulting in the emergence of land from the waters. The 3 sons at first were afraid to step on the land from the canoe. To test the firmness of the land, they sent the chameleon, which is why chameleons walk with hesitation. Sanobua then came down on the chain from the sky to demarcate the earth and allocate responsibilities. Sanobua, as God, appointed the youngest son as ruler of the earth. The son called the earth Agbon, and promptly set up his headquarters at Igodo. The other son was given control of the waters by Sanobua. The Benin called the son Olokun. The other son was allowed freedom to use his magical power to balance out the negative and positive forces of nature. He apparently represents evil, and the Benin call him Ogiwu. The Benin calls him Ogiwu. Ogiwu or Esu sometimes, meaning the harbinger of death. Ogiwu is supposed to own the blood of all living things. In other words, no living thing can live forever. Osanomboa then settled in the realm of the spirit world, across the waters, where the sky and the earth meet. While Osanomboa and Oloko represent aspects of life such as good health, long life, good luck, prosperity, and happiness, to which man may appeal through ritual purity. Ogiwo represents mourning, evil omen, and diseases.
Now, okay, Ugu, we simply mean the king of death. You understand now? Now, this king of death, what represents mourning, evil omen, and diseases. My people, these one are part of the Benin history. We will continue from here tomorrow because time don't reach for us to trace our origin. I do we know my and she man. And I send in my hand kubokube na ya dole edoji. God bless you, my brother. Because this one will be challenged to every one of us to go back to our history. So with this, it will be very easy for us to come together to overcome or to conquer our enemies. So by the grace of God, now here we will do justice to this, everything we don't talk about this evening because we get a long way to go for Edo. So that if we, by the time we begin to teach ourselves, we know the area where we really need to look into, and where will, if government not fit come in, community by community, go fit join hands together. I don't know if you understand. To fit see how we go fit harness our great potential. I will tell you ko kinorowa kinorisi. Eri mahia mwe mutana ise. Wa hila oge egesene maya kubokugbe na ya dole edoji. Emi ya bun noredo ni mahia emunuji. Ane chusa nogo dwa egesene mahia kubokugbe maya ten uji ogedo imu. Abe chima ya fe no bimwe uje dogboto wala owagisie obovo. Ruda ewoma au na me iroji. Anegesene na mehanya aroye ewima. Wa lao wagegbe odolebo. Odolebo already dole ewoji. Iwi nani emebeje evitobeje. Ema ikame ya fe mireba na egesene ni mahaya kobokugbe na ya dole edoji na ya ten uje edomu. Mama kobokugbe ave yan na bia bia usa ni mwe no mwe na male le ya kena edo asi egbin na le ya fe na mege averi ma meji ma ya ma meti yugbo ege bi se ne ma ha kele ya kobokugbe ni ma gwe gbi ma gunwa ni ma e wi ma ya dole edoji ni ma ya secure egbi ma iye uda ma ke wa se mi ya ye obey government wa ki la o wa ki yege iyogi ba iyogi ebo ne dogama no se dogama imeje wala o wala wo wala o waga tuta na mu werege eme ya fe ni tana ke ma ya fe ne koma were ne ge apostle kai uja bome uda egesene ne mahayata we no jie eri mahamunye utana ise etusa no godwa maga ke mana be sunbe ahwe we wade no be meme no ka be ta no ma mi o ma meti ta be social media so ti be inbox ma ma have tie ladan a suggestion ya fe we bi me u mi mo ladan ni ma gere ma hakele ya kobokugbe uda obona ya obona obona ya inwa obopa emeti be ebeto hu obona ya kugbe oboga ma kobokugbe maga setinten uje edomu walao waga kobo ekugbe wagi ma igbelegbe ma wala wowo abetima ya fe no eri oboyi mi dan wala wowo wari oboye emi dan ebiome o messi o modan o bie wala wowo wala wawese ere mahamu enyotana ise Victor.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We especially those people when take time to add one or two comments for today's edition of Talker as a B. I will believe say we don't throw more light on today's topic. We'll continue from this place again. Until after now, my name is Sir Victor.
My name is Apostle Alfred Oyinusa, aka Tokam Asidebi. Good night.
Now wey you don hear from Apostle Alfred Uyinosa, let us know what you think for comment section. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for dey hear all the things wey dey happen for Edo State. Make I leave you now with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.